Want to speak real Persian from your first lesson? Sign up for your free lifetime account at PersianPod101.com.
Hi everyone, I'm Amaze. Do you want to amaze a native speaker? This lesson is regarding to that. Welcome to the lesson for 10 ways to amaze native speakers. It is very fun. Let's start. ممنون ولی فارسی زبون مادری من نیست. Thank you, but I'm not a native speaker actually. ممنون ولی فارسی زبون مادری من نیست. Thank you, but I'm not a native speaker actually. Oh, it means you already speak very well and someone told you are a native speaker. That's perfect, go ahead. فقط 1 سال طول کشید تا بتونم روون صحبت کنم. It took me only 1 year to become fluent. فقط 1 سال طول کشید تا بتونم روون صحبت کنم. It took me only 1 year to become fluent in English. I think 1 year is quite good. Anyway, I think it depends on how much time you spend on it or what other languages you already know. من تا 3 سال دیگه فارسی و مثل یه فارسی زبان صحبت می کنم. I'll speak Persian like a native speaker in 3 years. من تا 3 سال دیگه فارسی و مثل یه فارسی زبان صحبت می کنم. I'll speak Persian like a native speaker in 3 years. Yeah, as I said, I think different factors affect on the duration of being a native speaker. And you can speak like a real native. من 10 ساله که دارم فارسی یاد میگیرم. I've been learning Persian for 10 years. من 10 ساله که دارم فارسی یاد میگیرم. I've been learning Persian for 10 years. That's quite a long time and it means you already know how much this language is beautiful and unique. من میتونم فیلمای ایرانی رو بدون زیرنویس تماشا کنم. I can watch Iranian movies without subtitles. من میتونم فیلمای ایرانی رو بدون زیرنویس تماشا کنم. I can watch Iranian movies without subtitles. That's amazing. If you really can do it, it means you can really understand anything and you are really pro. Watching Iranian movie can make you familiar with their culture and you can understand a lot of items even. فارسی یاد گرفتن سرگرم کننده و آسونه. Persian is fun and easy to learn. فارسی یاد گرفتن سرگرم کننده و آسونه. Persian is fun and easy to learn. Yes, it is absolutely, and this is really beautiful. And when you start to learn Persian, you open the door of Persia's treasure of culture, beauty, and even wisdom. فارسی رو خودم دارم یاد میگیرم. I'm learning Persian all by myself. فارسی رو خودم دارم یاد میگیرم. I'm learning Persian all by myself. Nowadays with internet, all free materials and good resources for learning. You can do self-learning fast and easy. But if it was 50 years ago, it wasn't that much easy. من هر چیو که گفتی کامل فهمیدم. I completely understood everything you said. من هر چیو که گفتی کامل فهمیدم. I completely understood anything you said is perfect. Congratulations. It means you can easily communicate with the Persians and you can speak with them easily. من میخوام معلم زبان فارسی بشم. I want to become a Persian language teacher. من میخوام معلم زبان فارسی بشم. I want to become a Persian language teacher. I was a teacher before when I was in Iran and I know being and working as a mu'allim is very interesting and it is full of fun. دوست دارم بتونم یه روز کتاب ترجمه کنم. I'd like to be able to translate books. دوست دارم بتونم یه روز کتاب ترجمه کنم. I'd like to be able to translate books some days. I hope you really can do that. The books of Rumi and Khayyam, the Persian poet of 800 years ago, now are among the bestseller of US books. Okay, it is the end of the lesson for the 10 phrases to amaze native speaker, and I hope you can amaze them more and more. Please leave a comment and tell me about your phrases you want to learn in Persian. Give me some feedback, please, and please visit and subscribe to PersianPod101.com for watching more videos and learning more Persian. Okay, see you next time. Bye-bye.
You're checking out the hotel's facilities when you see a notice on a door. What does the notice mean? What does the notice mean? The notice reads, "Do not enter."
وارد نشوید.
You are on a platform at a train station where you're waiting for your train. Suddenly, a message appears on the display. What does the message on the display mean? What does the message on the display mean? The display reads, "The next train will not stop."
قطار بعدی توقف نخواهد داشت.
You are at a train station where you're attempting to buy an express ticket from a ticket machine. Which option should you choose for a round-trip ticket? Which option should you choose for a round-trip ticket? The option on the bottom left is for a round-trip ticket.
بلیت دو سفره.
You are at a train station where you're looking for the best exit to catch a taxi. Which exit should you take to get to the taxi rank? Which exit should you take to get to the taxi rank? You should take the east exit in order to get to the taxi rank.
خروجی شرقی.
You search online for the nearest bus service. What bus service does the page show? What bus service does the page show? The web page shows a free bus service.
سرویس اتوبوس رایگان.
Hi everyone, I'm Azi. Welcome to the lesson of 10 ways to save the planet in Persian. I hope you enjoy the lesson today. Okay, let's start. بازیافت کردن. To recycle. The first word is بازیافت کردن. To recycle. در اتریش بیشتر کاغذها بازیافت می شوند. Or in informal situation you can say to اتریش بیشتر کاغذها بازیافت میشن. Most of the papers is recycled in Austria. That's amazing. And here where I'm living it's not very common, but I heard about the new generation of printers which can recycle the paper within 3 minutes and you can use them at your office or even at your home. I hope this generation comes to my country soon. داوطلب شدن. کار داوطلبانه انجام دادن. To volunteer. کار داوطلبانه انجام دادن. Or داوطلب شدن. To volunteer. خواهرم برای پاکسازی ساحل داوطلب شد. My sister volunteered to clean up the beach. Have you ever volunteered for a job? I had several volunteering experiences and I noticed I always felt fantastic afterward. You see all changes you made and you can see the result of your effort. That's amazing. If you didn't try it so far, try it because it has worth of try, I think. محافظت کردن. To protect. محافظت کردن. To protect. ما باید از منابع طبیعی محافظت کنیم. We must protect our natural resources. All of us knows our natural resources are limited. And if we don't protect them and we just use them, we will have short quality of them soon. دوباره استفاده کردن. To reuse. مجدداً استفاده کردن. Or دوباره استفاده کردن. To reuse. چرا از کیسه های پلاستیکی دوباره استفاده نمی کنید؟ Why don't you reuse plastic bags? To reuse or not to do? That's the question. I think reusing has numerous environmental benefits. Yeah, it helps to save energy and limit pollution, protect natural resources, and most important one, you can save a lot of money. نگهداری کردن. To conserve. نگهداری کردن. To conserve. خاموش کردن دستگاه‌های الکتریکی وقتی از آنها استفاده نمی‌کنیم یک راه نگهداری انرژی است. Turning off electronic devices when you don't use them is one way to conserve energy. Of course, it is a good way for conserving energy. Now, look at your house. How many electronic devices are plugged in your house? It's a good exercise, I think. And if you break it down room by room, then probably you can come up with a pretty decent estimate. استفاده کردن از انرژی های پاک. To use clean energies. استفاده کردن از انرژی های پاک. To use clean energies. با استفاده از انرژی های پاک آلودگی هوایی کمتری خواهیم داشت. By using clean energies we will have less air pollution. Renewable energy resources like wind and solar power generate electricity, cause low or even no pollution and of course global warming. از محیط زیست مراقبت کردن. To care for the environment. از محیط زیست مراقبت کردن. To care for the environment. شما چگونه از محیط زیست مراقبت میکنید؟ How do you care for the environment? For me, caring of the environment is accompanying with a big less. Yeah, always less power, less water, and please make less rush. از محصولات دوستدار اکوسیستم استفاده کردن. To use eco-friendly products. از محصولات دوستدار اکوسیستم استفاده کردن. To use eco-friendly products. لباسهای نخی از محصولات دوستدار محیط زیست هستند. Cotton clothing is an eco-friendly product. When I was pregnant, I always was very caring about the product which I used, about the clothes, makeups, and I always read the labels. Is that organic? Is that 100% natural? And I taking care of my baby also is like that. But anyway, the eco-friendly products are not meaning 100% natural. Any products which don't harm environment even during the production called eco-friendly. So maybe a product which made 100% from recycled, maybe it can be considered as eco-friendly product. آب را هدر ندادن. Not to waste water. آب را هدر ندادن. Not to waste water. برای جلوگیری از خشکسالی آب را هدر ندهیم. To prevent droughts, let's not waste water. Yes, please. Do not leave the tap running when you are brushing your teeth. And when you are washing the dishes, when you have to come up from the bath halfway for answering your phone. از وسایل نقلیه عمومی استفاده کردن. To use public transport. از وسایل نقلیه عمومی استفاده کردن. To use public transport. چند بار در هفته از وسایل نقلیه عمومی استفاده می کنید؟ How many times a week do you use public transportation? When I was a student, I almost used public transportation every day. But nowadays, with a small baby, I rarely use them. How about you? چند بار در هفته از وسایل نقلیه عمومی استفاده می کنید؟ Okay, this is the end of the lesson for 10 ways to save the planet in Persian. I hope you enjoyed the lesson today. And please leave a comment about your ways to save the planet, of course. And if you want to learn more sentences, write it in a comment and give me some feedbacks. And please visit and subscribe to PersianPod101.com for watching more videos and learning more Persian. Bye-bye, see you next time.
You're about to enter a small shop, but there's a handwritten note on the door. What does the message on the note mean? What does the message on the note mean? The note reads, "I'll be right back."
زود برمیگردم.
You are at a train station where you're reading the train schedule for an express ticket that you've just bought. On which days are there no express trains running? On which days are there no express trains running? There are no express trains running on public holidays and the third Friday of every month.
در روزهای تعطیل رسمی یا سومین جمعه هر ماه قطارهای تندرو حرکت ندارند.
There's a national holiday coming up, and you notice that shops have special notices about having different opening hours. From when will the opening hours return to normal? From when will the opening hours return to normal? The notice says that the opening hours will be back to normal on January 7th.
7 ژانویه.
You are at a train station where you've just bought an express ticket. Which train car, compartment, and seat are you in? Which train car, compartment, and seat are you in? The ticket says that you're in train car number 1 in compartment number 3 in seat D.
واگن 1 کوپه 3 صندلی D.
You just got a text message from your hotel's pickup service. What does the first number refer to? What does the first number refer to? The number in the text message refers to the customer code.
کد مشتری.
Want to speak real Persian from your first lesson? Sign up for your free lifetime account at PersianPod101.com.
In the last lesson, we learned several of the most common greetings in Persian. Do you remember them? In this lesson, we're going to learn a very useful phrase. Do you speak English? If you find yourself in a situation where you need assistance in English, this phrase can be a lifesaver. And because you're asking in Persian, you can be sure that everyone will understand what you're asking, even if their answer is no. Here's the informal and easy way to say it. İngilisi baladi, İngilisi baladi. In Persian, balad means can, or to be able to. Adding "i" to the end makes it an informal question. İngilisi baladi means, can you speak or communicate in English? Literally, it's, can you English? However, this is only used in very informal situations with close friends. Now we're going to make this sentence more polite by simply adding "it" to balad instead of "i." It becomes a slightly more formal question. İngilisi baladid? İngilisi بلدید? But it's always a good idea to be as polite as possible when addressing strangers. Here's the most polite form. آیا شما انگلیسی صحبت می کنید؟ آیا شما انگلیسی صحبت می کنید؟ Let's pay close attention to a useful new word here. آیا is a question word used at the start of sentences to turn a regular sentence into a yes or no question. آیا شما انگلیسی صحبت می کنید means do you speak English? By adding ببخشید or excuse me, the sentence becomes even more polite. ببخشید آیا شما انگلیسی صحبت می کنید؟ ببخشید آیا شما انگلیسی صحبت می کنید؟ If someone replies to you in English, you'll know the answer to your question is yes. But if they answer you in Persian, you might receive one of these responses. بله. Yes. بله. یک کمی. A little. یک کمی. نه. من انگلیسی صحبت نمی کنم. No, I cannot speak English. نه. من انگلیسی صحبت نمی کنم. Or نه. من انگلیسی بلد نیستم. No, I can't speak English. نه. من انگلیسی بلد نیستم. Since this last example is a negative reply to a yes or no question, we need to say نه, meaning no, at the beginning of the sentence. We also said نمیکنم, meaning don't, after the verb صحبت, meaning talk or speak. Or نیستم, meaning am not, after the verb بلد, meaning can. Combined with صحبت, meaning talk or speak, now you know that صحبت نمیکنم means I don't speak, and صحبت میکنید means you speak. Also, نیستم is actually the negative version of هستم, but it looks slightly different in the negative form. Verbs and phrases change depending on the person speaking. Now it's time for Anita's advice. Persian people study the English language at school and love to use English. So most people will understand you if you speak to them in simple English. For those of you whose native language is not English, you can use this same basic question for any language you need. Here are some other language names in Persian. Italiai for Italian, Rusi for Russian, Espanjai for Spanish, and Almani for German. In the last lesson, we learned the phrase ببخشید. آیا شما انگلیسی صحبت می کنید؟ Excuse me, do you speak English? We use the word ببخشید, which means excuse me in Persian. In this lesson, you're going to learn how to use ببخشید and other words when apologizing in Persian. ببخشید is used in situations like when we are ordering something in a restaurant or asking for something in a store, and so on. For example, ببخشید یک قهوه لطفاً. Excuse me, one coffee please. We can also use it when asking a question. ببخشید تخت جمشید کجاست؟ Excuse me, where is Persepolis? Similar to English, there is no informal way to say excuse me in Persian. The meaning is already polite. Persian people just ask questions more directly when speaking to a friend. But to make it polite, you can add لطفاً, meaning please, to the start or end of a phrase when asking for something. لطفاً یک قهوه میدی? Can you give me a coffee, please? We also use ببخشید in a sentence when apologizing. This can be used both formally and informally, but in a more casual situation, it can also be shortened to ببخش, as in مرا ببخش. Forgive me. مرا ببخش. Please note that the way we say this phrase is different than the way it's actually written. The proper way is من را ببخش. First we have the word man or me. Next we insert را, which is always used grammatically after the object of a verb. In this case, it was me. Finally, we have the command verb ببخش, meaning you forgive. من را ببخش. you forgive me. But you will always hear it as مرا ببخش. Now it's time for Anita's advice. In Persian, just like American English, we usually don't say excuse me when asking for something from a friend. But when we want to ask something or call upon a friend, like, hey, do you know? Or, look, what is? Persian people use bebin, which literally means look. It is very common in casual speech. ببین تخت جمشید کجاست؟ Hey, where is Persepolis?
زنی در کتاب فروشی چیزی از فروشنده می خواهد. آن زن کدام کتاب را می خواهد ببیند؟ ببخشید، من می خواهم به کتابی که روی آن قفسه است نگاهی بیاندازم.
کدام کتاب را می خواهید؟
آن که در مورد اتومبیل هاست.
یه لحظه لطفاً. این؟
بله، همان.
بفرمایید.
آن زن کدام کتاب را می خواهد ببیند؟ زنی در کتاب فروشی چیزی از فروشنده می خواهد. آن زن کدام کتاب را می خواهد ببیند؟ ببخشید، من می خواهم به کتابی که روی آن قفسه است نگاهی بیاندازم.
کدام کتاب را می خواهید؟
آن که در مورد اتومبیل هاست.
یه لحظه لطفاً. این؟
بله، همان.
بفرمایید.
یک مرد و زن در رستوران در حال نگاه کردن به منو هستند. مرد چه چیزی می خواهد سفارش بدهد؟
شما چه چیزی می خواهید سفارش بدهید؟
پیتزا خوشمزه به نظر می رسد. آن را انتخاب می کنم.
من دیروز پیتزا خوردم. در نتیجه؟
خب، پس همبرگر چطور؟
خوب به نظر می رسد. من آن را انتخاب می کنم.
مرد چه چیزی می خواهد سفارش بدهد؟ یک مرد و زن در رستوران در حال نگاه کردن به منو هستند. مرد چه چیزی می خواهد سفارش بدهد؟
شما چه چیزی می خواهید سفارش بدهید؟
پیتزا خوشمزه به نظر می رسد. آن را انتخاب می کنم.
من دیروز پیتزا خوردم. در نتیجه؟
خب، پس همبرگر چطور؟
خوب به نظر می رسد. من آن را انتخاب می کنم.
مردی با مطب دکتر تماس می گیرد. مرد باید تا چه ساعتی در مطب دکتر باشد؟ سلام، من چطور می توانم به شما کمک کنم؟
شما امروز چه ساعتی تعطیل می کنید؟
ما ساعت 6 تعطیل می کنیم، ولی لطفاً قبل از 5:30 دقیقه بیایید.
باشه، مرسی.
مرد باید تا چه ساعتی در مطب دکتر باشد؟ مردی با مطب دکتر تماس می گیرد. مرد باید تا چه ساعتی در مطب دکتر باشد؟ سلام، من چطور می توانم به شما کمک کنم؟
شما امروز چه ساعتی تعطیل می کنید؟
ما ساعت 6 تعطیل می کنیم، ولی لطفاً قبل از 5:30 دقیقه بیایید.
باشه، مرسی.
Today, traditional classrooms are no longer the only or even best place to learn a new language. More and more people are finding that they can easily learn a language just about anywhere they have a few minutes of spare time, including their daily commute to work. According to the US Census Bureau, the average American spends over 50 minutes a day commuting to and from work, or over 300 hours a year. But rather than simply sitting in traffic and wasting the time, you can instead use your daily commute to literally learn a new language in just a few short months. Our language learning program has specialized learning tools that you can use on your commute to and from the office to master a language in your spare time. What are some reasons traditional classroom settings just aren't the best option for most people in today's fast-paced world? Difficulty getting to and from class. Learning on someone else's schedule. Very expensive and may cost thousands of dollars to complete. Can take years to finally complete classes and learn the language. The simple truth is that traditional classroom instruction is simply not a viable option for most people in today's very fast-paced, time-starved world. Now, let's examine how you can learn a language faster, more easily, and at far less expense than traditional classes, all during your commute to work and back home again. 3 reasons your daily commute can help you master a language in the next year. On average, Americans spend more than 300 hours per year commuting. During the commute to and from work, over 6 hours a week is completely wasted. The time isn't used to help you reach any goals or objectives. But thanks to online language learning platforms with audiobooks and other resources that you can access during your commute, you can easily transform wasted time into progress toward learning a new language. With over 300 hours available annually, your daily commute could provide you with enough time to gain significant skills in a new language each and every year. Increase your earning potential while commuting to work. How would you like to transform all those spare commuting hours each week into more money for a new car, house, or even a dream vacation? According to research, someone making $30,000 per year can boost their annual income by $600 or more per year by learning a second language. Over the course of a lifetime, that's a significant amount. How? From work-at-home translation jobs to working overseas, there are many ways to leverage your second language into more money in your bank account. So instead of wasting your precious time, you can make your commute more productive and eventually profitable. The more languages you learn, the higher your income potential. Repetition is key to mastering a new language. Not sure if it's practical to learn another language while commuting to and from work each day? Well, not only is it possible, learning in your car on the way to and from work each day can actually help you learn and master any language quickly. The simple truth is that repetition is absolutely vital to truly internalizing and mastering any language. So, if you listen to audiobooks or even audio lessons on your commute to work, and then repeat the same lesson on your commute home, the information is more likely to be locked into your long-term memory. Our language learning program has been helping people learn and master language in the comfort of their home, during their daily commute, or any place they have a few spare minutes of time. Here are 5 features of our program that make it easy to learn a new language while commuting to and from work. First, the largest collection of audio lessons on the planet by native speaker instructors. Every single week, native speaker instructors create new audio lessons. All lessons are short, to the point, and guaranteed to improve your mastery of a language. Second, the word of the day. Simply exposing yourself to new information and vocabulary terms helps increase your fluency and mastery of your target language. So every single day, check out the word of the day and memorize it during your commute. It's a quick and easy way to boost your vocabulary every day. Third, daily dose mini lessons. Have a short commute to work but still want to make progress towards learning more than just vocabulary? Not a problem. Our daily dose mini lessons are 1 minute or less and are designed to improve your grammar, conversations, and pronunciation. Fourth, all content is available on a convenient mobile app. You don't need a PC or tablet to learn during your daily commute. Instead, all of our lessons, tools, and resources are available 24/7 via our mobile app. That means you can access all of our audio lessons and other tools during your commute to work or anytime you have a few spare minutes. Fifth, audiobooks and other supplemental resources. In addition to the world's largest online collection of HD audio lessons, our language learning program has audiobooks to enhance your understanding and make it more convenient than ever to learn a language during your commute. The average commute time of most Americans is over 300 hours each year, and it's the perfect opportunity to learn and master a new language. Use the dead time during your daily commute to learn a new language and potentially boost your lifetime earnings. Whatever your motivation, our language learning program has the tools and resources necessary to help you learn a new language each year during your commute to and from work. So, if you're ready to finally learn a new language the fast, fun, and easy way, sign up for your free lifetime account by clicking on the link in the description. Signing up takes less than 30 seconds, and you'll start speaking from your very first lesson. If you enjoyed these tips, hit the like button, share the video with anyone who's trying to learn a new language, and subscribe to our channel. We release new videos every week. I'll see you next time. Bye!
پسر در حال خواندن دفتر یادداشت روزانه خود است. اولین کاری که پسر امروز صبح انجام داد چه بود؟
امروز هوا عالی بود. من امروز بعد از ظهر برای شنا به استخر رفتم و عصر به سینما رفتم. همچنین من صبح را کلاً مطالعه کردم. امروز بد نبود.
اولین کاری که پسر امروز صبح انجام داد چه بود؟ پسر در حال خواندن دفتر یادداشت روزانه خود است. اولین کاری که پسر امروز صبح انجام داد چه بود؟
امروز هوا عالی بود. من امروز بعد از ظهر برای شنا به استخر رفتم و عصر به سینما رفتم. همچنین من صبح را کلاً مطالعه کردم. امروز بد نبود.
زن و مرد در حال تماشای یک عکس هستند. به کدام عکس نگاه می کنند؟ این عکس تیم فوتبالی است که پسر شما در آن است. اینطور نیست؟ کدام پسر شماست؟
این یکی.
اوه، او بلندترین فرد است.
بله، او حتی از من هم بلندتر است.
به کدام عکس نگاه می کنند؟ زن و مرد در حال تماشای یک عکس هستند. به کدام عکس نگاه می کنند؟ این عکس تیم فوتبالی است که پسر شما در آن است. اینطور نیست؟ کدام پسر شماست؟
این یکی.
اوه، او بلندترین فرد است.
بله، او حتی از من هم بلندتر است.
When learning a new language, everyone should have an ultimate goal to work towards. Whether you want to be able to connect with a relative, easily order food while traveling, or go somewhere new, having an end goal for your learning can be very motivating. A popular but challenging goal is being able to speak like a native speaker. It's difficult to measure exactly when you reach this goal, and it's not something you can pick up using textbooks alone. So how do you work on making your speech more natural? That's what we're going to look at today. Here are 3 tips to help you practice talking like a native speaker. Number 1, focus on vocabulary. If your goal is to speak like a native, you might be really focused on speaking quickly or using as many complex grammar patterns as possible. But in our native languages, we're not always trying to speak as fast as possible, and we use complex grammar patterns when necessary, not to show off. Vocabulary, however, is extremely important to expressing ourselves naturally. Your choice of words can reveal a lot about you and your understanding of the language. Most learners have had the experience of using a phrasebook or a dictionary to find a word they want to use, trying the word in conversation, and getting a look of confusion from the native speaker. In some cases, although your word choice may be grammatically correct, the word may be inappropriate for the situation or totally unnatural. This is especially important in business and other formal situations, where the right level of formality and professionalism is key. Being able to understand nuances in vocabulary words can also help you understand relationships between people just by listening to the conversation. Try to listen to many different types of conversations. Listen to how people talk to their friends, their superiors, and in customer service situations. This will give you a better idea of how to talk to others naturally. In some languages, you can omit words from sentences or use more direct communication styles. It's important to be aware of these things so you can apply them yourself. Colloquialisms and slang are also commonly used in most languages. As this sort of vocabulary is always evolving, it can be difficult to keep up with the latest words. Talk with native speakers and consume media in your target language to make sure you pick up these kinds of expressions. Media is a great resource for your learning. Ultimately, knowing the appropriate vocabulary to use for each situation will really help you sound more knowledgeable. Number 2, perfect your accent. With every language, there are unique pronunciation and intonation challenges. Some languages are tonal languages, and a change in pitch can completely change the meaning of a word. Then there's the fact that most countries have multiple dialects, and so people from one area of the country may sound different from those in another. So what is the best way to listen to a wide range of accents and different pronunciations? Video and audio resources are a great way to do this. YouTube is a perfect place to start because people from all kinds of different backgrounds upload videos to the platform. You can watch educational videos, daily life vlogs, cooking shows, a travel series, whatever interests you. Pay attention to the different ways people speak. Everyone is unique. And then practice speaking like them. This kind of practice can help you sound more natural. One note, please be aware of the type of resources you're using. For example, if you find a video where a speaker uses a rare dialect, it might not be a good idea to use that for your pronunciation practice, unless you have a special reason for studying a specific accent. As a general rule, it's best to try to search for practice resources that use a standard form of the language you're studying. Number 3, copy what you hear. Do you remember how you learned to speak as a child? We rarely learned new words just listening to them, or reading after we learned how. When we were little kids, we imitated the sounds we heard by repeating the sounds out loud. While you're talking to a friend, watching videos, or listening to audio in your target language, you can do this to try and replicate the way they speak. Doing this will help you work on mastering the flow of the language, your accent, intonation, and pronunciation. Of course, you might also pick up some new vocabulary this way. Make sure to repeat new words often. It's a great way to make sure you remember them. Try doing this using a number of different mediums and sources. That way, you'll be exposed to the diversity that the language offers and master the fundamentals of pronunciation. For example, you can watch and imitate several different YouTube videos and audio CDs, but try a few different sources, like different creators or different audio types, to make sure you experience a wide range of communication in your target language. If you're using our language learning program, you can even get your own teacher with Premium Plus. Your teacher can answer questions, give assignments, and even listen to your recordings and give you advice on pronunciation. Completing these kinds of lessons with a native teacher can really boost your confidence in your speaking skills. Becoming able to speak like a native is a popular goal for many people learning a new language. It feels great to be able to communicate smoothly, especially when the people you're talking to expect basic level sentences or broken communication. Try using the tips we've shared in this video to work on improving your speaking skills. Of course, it'll take time and persistence, but the reward will be more natural communication. And for even more tips on speaking, check out our complete language learning program. Sign up for your free lifetime account by clicking on the link in the description. Get tons of resources to have you speaking in your target language. And if you enjoyed these tips, hit the like button, share the video with anyone who's trying to learn a new language, and subscribe to our channel. We release new videos every week. I'll see you next time. Bye! Want to know how to improve your listening and speaking skills, be able to save conversations, listen to them as many times as you want, and learn hundreds of practical everyday conversations? Well, there is an easy way to do this. In this video, we'll go over how to speak more using the dialogue track. So, what is the dialogue track? The dialogue track is an audio track with just the conversation from the lesson. It's only about 10 to 30 seconds long. Let's say you're looking at a 5-minute lesson about ordering food at a restaurant. First, you hear a conversation. Then our teachers explain every grammar rule and translate every word, so you know what it all means. That's where the dialogue track comes in. It gives you just the conversation. Here's what makes the dialogue track so powerful. First, you can quickly review the conversation without re-listening to the lesson. The dialogue track is just 10 to 30 seconds long, so it won't take you very long to cover both new and old information. This makes it perfect for a quick review of what you've just learned, and it helps keep it fresh in your brain. Second, you'll remember the conversations easier. Listen on repeat, like you would with a song, and the words, phrases, and grammar rules will stick better. And the more you come back to re-listen, the better it will all stick. Third, you'll speak more of your target language. So if you have 10, 20, or 100 dialogue tracks like that, then you have 10, 20, or 100 conversations that you'll know inside out and that you can use in real life. For example, conversations like catching up with friends, ordering at a restaurant, talking about your family, introducing yourself, and much, much more. Fourth, you improve your listening skills and can immerse yourself in the language. So imagine you've finished 20 lessons and you've downloaded 20 dialogue tracks to your phone. That's 20 conversations. You can create a playlist and play those 20 tracks and get used to the language and immerse yourself. To recap what we just learned, here's what you do to make the most of the dialogue tracks. First, after you finish a lesson, download the dialogue track. Save it to your computer or phone so you can listen to it on repeat whenever possible. Just replace 3 to 15 minutes of music listening for some language review. Next, if you've finished 20 lessons, you should have 20 dialogue tracks. Use those to create a playlist of these dialogue tracks so that you can listen to all kinds of conversations. And finally, try shadowing the conversations that you hear. This will become super easy once you've heard the conversation enough times. But if you're still struggling with a word or two, go back to the lesson and check the line-by-line breakdown of the conversation to find the words you need to practice. Boost your speaking skills with the dialogue track and check out our complete language learning program. Sign up for your free lifetime account by clicking on the link in the description. Get tons of resources to have you speaking in your target language. And if you enjoyed these tips, hit the like button, share the video with anyone who's trying to learn a new language, and subscribe to our channel. We release new videos every week. I'll see you next time. Bye! Want to speak your target language with confidence and impress native speakers? When learning to speak a new language, you have lots of things to think about, including grammar, vocabulary, and pronunciation. Because you're thinking of all of these things and trying to speak, it can be difficult to communicate with confidence, especially in the beginning. This is why it's helpful to make confidence-building exercises part of your language learning process. In this video, you'll learn 7 ways to boost your confidence. 1. Read out loud. This might seem pretty basic, but it's a great way to practice speaking. Reading aloud lets you practice speaking without having to think about grammar or things to talk about. Reading out loud lets you focus on your pronunciation and the rhythm of the language. It can help you learn to speak more smoothly and quickly, without even thinking about it. If you're using our lessons, read the dialogue out loud as you listen. You can read along with the dialogue tool, the lesson notes, or the transcript. 2. Read like a child. This might sound strange, but think about children learning to read. They go slow and sound everything out. Maybe it takes 2 or 3 tries before they read a new word smoothly, and a few more tries before they can read it at a natural pace. This example applies to language learning too. If you find a complex sentence in something you're reading, read it slowly at first, then speed up. With practice, you'll be able to say it easily. It might feel a bit silly to speak very slowly, but this kind of practice can help you identify tough sounds you might miss or say incorrectly when reading quickly. 3. Use the dialogue breakdown tool. If you're using our site, this is a great tool to take advantage of. It breaks down lesson conversations into individual lines. You can listen to the audio for each line, learn what each line means, and can reread and review as much as you want. 4. Use the voice recorder to record and compare yourself with native speakers. Just click on the microphone icon next to each line in the dialogue section. You can use this tool to perfect your pronunciation if you like, but this is also something you can use to work on speaking with confidence at native level speed. You'll find this tool in the dialogue section of all of our lessons. 5. Repeat and review old lesson conversations. Reviewing what you've studied in the past is the best way to make sure you maintain what you've learned. Go back to older lessons, download the lesson dialogue tracks, and re-listen to the conversations again and again. Or you can reread the dialogue lines from previous lessons until you've mastered them all. 6. Shadow conversations. Repeat what you hear out loud. This tactic is important, but it can be tricky when you're doing a brand new lesson. If you're reviewing dialogues from lessons you've done though, it's super easy to do. Just listen to the dialogue and repeat what you hear. Shadowing means mimicking the speaker as soon as they speak, following their intonation and rhythms as closely as possible. 7. Send recordings to your Premium Plus teacher. If you want to speak with confidence, there's no better confidence boost than feedback from a native speaker. And you get just that with a Premium Plus teacher. You can record yourself reciting a lesson dialogue or any dialogue of your own, and your teacher will give you specific tips on how to improve. From the tips your teacher gives you, choose at least one and practice, practice, practice. Being able to react quickly and with confidence in a conversation is typically not something you can do on your first try, but if you continue practicing, you'll gradually find yourself speaking with ease. And for even more ways to build your speaking confidence, check out our complete language learning program. Sign up for your free lifetime account by clicking on the link in the description. Get tons of resources to have you speaking in your target language. And if you enjoyed these tips, hit the like button, share the video with anyone who's trying to learn a new language, and subscribe to our channel. We release new videos every week. I'll see you next time. Bye! When you start out learning a foreign language, everything is exciting. You pick up new words and basic phrases fairly quickly. The first time you say a greeting or answer the question, "How are you?" you might even get a little thrill. Speaking fluently doesn't feel that far off, and at this point, it really does seem like language learning isn't all that difficult. But after a week or two, things begin to change. After a few weeks of study, you start to hit walls as you're faced with strange grammar, vocabulary, and pronunciation. Everything about learning a new language seemed promising and hopeful before, but now you start to realize how difficult it's going to be. Speaking the language now feels like a long, far-off goal that you may or may not achieve one day. But don't let the innocence of being an absolute beginner or the disillusionment of being an experienced learner discourage you from learning. Speaking a new language may not be as far off as you thought. In this video, we'll look at 3 tips to help you practice your speaking skills, no matter what level you're at. Number 1, practice with native speakers. Practicing with native speakers is by far one of the most effective things you can do to improve your speaking abilities. Think of speaking a foreign language as riding a bike. After a certain point, you can't read or theorize about how to do it. You have to actually do it. If you can practice speaking with native speakers who correct you and give good feedback, then you'll be well on your way to improving your speaking. But where can you find native speakers to practice with? If you live in or near a major city, there's a good chance there are some native speakers there. You might even get lucky and discover an entire community. Do a little research into the demographics of your city, or simply keep your eyes open the next time you go through town. You can also attend a language exchange or cultural event. Meetup is a site for local enthusiast groups, and there are usually some language-speaking clubs or cultural clubs there. If you're unable to find native speakers where you live, then jump online and find them there. There are a lot of free online exchanges that allow you to connect with other language learners from all over the globe via text, audio, or video chat. Look for a speaker who is learning your native language. You can spend an hour or so helping each other in your respective target languages. This is a highly practical and helpful way to learn. It's also a great way to learn more directly about the culture you're studying in a real way. Number 2, devote some time to learning pronunciation. Pronunciation often isn't the first skill people think of working on when learning a foreign language, but that doesn't mean that it isn't important. Truth be told, you don't absolutely need a great accent to speak or understand every language. However, a decent accent can vastly improve your listening and speaking abilities in ways you might not expect. Being able to pronounce words and sounds makes it a lot easier for you to remember and understand new words simply by hearing them. If you can physically make a sound with your mouth, then you can mentally remember it. Once you have a good accent, the new language won't sound as foreign as it once did, and you'll be able to understand rapid speech, as well as pick up the definition of new words based on their conversational context. But how can you improve your accent? If you're serious about developing your accent, then you'll want to dissect the language's sound system into its individual parts. First by letters, then individual words, followed by whole phrases. Start doing some mild research on the phonetics of your target language. You don't have to get too technical here. Just try to get an idea of some of the main differences between it and your native language. Find out where native speakers usually put their tongue while saying certain sounds, or pay attention to the shape of their mouths when they speak. Is it open or closed? These subtle differences are what really help you improve. Once you get the letters down, start listening to native audio and compare your pronunciation to the native speakers. Our language learning program's playback feature is a great way to accomplish this. Take a phrase from a lesson and start by practicing the individual words, playing the audio back at a slower speed and then again at a regular speed. After comparing your speech to the audio, combine the words to make complete phrases, imitating the intonation of the native speakers. This precise method of pronunciation practice is one of the most efficient and effective ways to learn pronunciation. Number 3, imitate, don't just repeat. Anytime you speak, do your best to imitate the native speakers you've heard and practice with. Match the way their intonation rises and falls. Pay attention to their word order. It's even a good idea to match some of their body language. This degree of imitation will probably feel weird at first, but it reinforces fluency in the language and breaks you out of the parrot trap, where you simply learn and speak through rote memorization or repetition. This is a common problem that's often cited with other less effective language learning methods. Speaking a language is like playing music or dancing. You don't want to just know it. You want to live in the moment and feel it as you use it. You don't sit and think of what you're going to say in your native language before you say it. Why would you expect to do the same in a new one? Don't let ruffled expectations make you think that speaking a new language is impossible. Yes, it's difficult, but it probably isn't as difficult as you think it is. With a little determination and some faithful practice, you might be surprised how quick and how far you can progress. Use these tips to better practice the language and see real results in your speaking abilities. And for even more ways to practice your speaking, check out our complete language learning program. Sign up for your free lifetime account by clicking on the link in the description. Get tons of resources to have you speaking in your target language. And if you enjoyed these tips, hit the like button, share the video with anyone who's trying to learn a new language, and subscribe to our channel. We release new videos every week. I'll see you next time. Bye! Want to speed up your language learning? Take your very first lesson with us. You'll start speaking in minutes and master real conversations. Sign up for your free lifetime account. Just click the link in the description.